spin up this hill here if we can. Hey guys, BikeBlogger here. On my way to work. Today I want to talk about spinning versus grinding. So, when you're riding a bike, there are two different ways, two different extremes, I guess. You can spin or grind or mash up hills. I sort of do both, but mostly do more grinding than spinning. I ride a single speed bike. I don't really have an option. So by spinning, I mean you sort of spin your feet, your legs fast when you're bicycling. And grinding, you're doing it at a slower pace and you're working your muscles in a different way. The most efficient way to ride a bike is spinning. At least most people will tell you that. And I sort of think it's true. But if you want to be able to, spin 100% of the time, and you don't live in a very flat area, you're going to have a multi-speed bike. You can't have a single speed bike like what I ride. You may sort of notice I sort of do tend to spin a little quickly. That's because I've chosen a gear that sort of forces me to spin rather quickly. I go left here. And that's because I'm more comfortable with spinning rather quickly versus mashing, but I still do have to mash going up hills. It's really a balance. When you're going single speed, you gotta pick a gear that you like that allows you to go fast enough, but eventually you will spin out, especially if going downhill. That's just the nature of riding single speed. Okay, what's this guy doing? Anyway, it stormed last night, and so there's some debris still on the road in some places. Grinding or mashing on hills isn't good for your knees. Obviously, you'll be able to tell if you get some pain if you haven't tried it before. But like with a lot of things, the more you do it, the more the pain goes away, or at least it seems like it goes away. So probably wondering, well, what do I advocate? Do I advocate spinning or grinding? Well, that's wet back here. Well, usually I would say spinning because it's more efficient. But I love riding single speed, and you can't really ride single speed without doing a bit of grinding. So I would say if you live in a very hilly area, you're going to have a multi-speed bike anyway. So at that point, I'd say why bother grinding? Just spin faster. Of course, it does matter depending on what you're more comfortable with. But for instance, if you had a fixed gear bike, that is a bike that makes you spin and not stop spinning, you might learn to spin faster. spinning is more efficient, like I said, so you know, I'd recommend spinning, or give each thing a try. See what you just like more. I think as kids we tend to, boy, it is muddy back here. We tend to grind more just because we don't understand how to use different gears, or you know, we practice on bikes that don't have any gears, maybe. Oh, my tires are filthy now, they're covered in mud. So, you know, you can learn to spin faster. I'd recommend trying to learn it. So see how fast we can spin here. 23 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour, 26, 27. I gotta stop at the stop sign. So yeah, I mean, I can spin pretty quick on flat surfaces for a short period of time if I have to. I like to spin because I sort of come from a jogging background, so obviously spinning requires more aerobic activity, and grinding is more muscle. So it's up to you, really, what you're more comfortable with. Take a left here. Feels pretty nice out after the storm aftermath. Didn't look that bad, but it was storming pretty hard the other day. There was hail. There was hail. There were some heavy winds. It's not totally common around where I live in mid-county St. Louis. Usually it hits more in the areas where it's less dense, you know, like in the fields and stuff, more out in the further out in the county. But even downtown St. Louis has been hit by some pretty nasty storms before too, though. It happens. Stuff happens. Go right here. It's not really any, at least unless they picked them up, there's not really any tree branches down around here. I'm sure there are, like I said, further out in the county. There's just really a lot of leaves on the ground, more than usual, just because of the winds last night. Thing is, like today, yesterday was a really nice day until the storm moved in. To the left. Woo! So I'm sort of grinding up the hill here. Like I said, I have no choice because I'm on a single speed bike. If you do like what the pros do, cycling, which I wouldn't recommend because, let's face it, none of us are really pros. they will get out of the saddle and sort of hit it, grind a bit. But they're racing, All you're gonna get is a little bit of an edge. You'll go a little faster, but only for a short amount of time. If you want a good average speed, you need to spin. I like the exercise though myself. The muscle exercise it takes to grind up hills and stuff. But you just gotta know you're risking your knees. So there's that disadvantage. See, what I could do here is I could get on the sidewalk and ride a little bit and then make a right and cross without waiting for the light here. Or I can make a right, which I'm actually sort of tempted to do now. I'm not in a right turn lane, I'm sort of in the only lane here, so I wouldn't be like changing lanes at a stop so much. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's make a right, because then I can make a left when it's open here. Some cars coming up behind me. Let's get in the turning lane here. Sort of past my road here, that's okay. So, spinning versus grinding. I think you should learn to be good at both, honestly. Let's spin up this hill here if we can. Obviously, like I said, if you're more of a runner, I would recommend spinning to you. If you're more of a weightlifter or a muscle guy or gal, I'd recommend grinding. Stick with your strength, I say. However, like with anything, it's good to mix things up. I think I missed this green light. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Woo!